I've been meaning to do some Moog One videos for a long time. Um, it's been years since this thing came out, and I still don't think there's very many good videos on it. Um, I will say Tim Shoebridge, big thanks to him for he really used that. I don't know if it's OCD, not being offensive or anything, but like really go watch his video on I think it's called putting some vintage into your Moog One, where he really like figured out how to tap into using the mod matrix and just getting little inconsistencies and oscillators and filters and everything, so it has more of that vintage analog warmth. But I love this synthesizer, and it gets a lot of crap from people that I think are mostly just jealous people that have never played one. Because I don't know what there is to not like. That was just some random patch I made. That was just my first attempt at a polymoog sound. I'm gonna tap more into that. Doesn't nail it. It's kind of similar-ishy, but I think it's better than the one that came in this thing. I think there's a preset in the Moog One called like Cars or Newman or something like that. But it's not very good. It's not very good, and it uses 3 layers, which really kills your polyphony. This is just 1 layer, and I think it sounds closer to that. But anyway, here's the Moog One. In case you've been living under a rock and for the last several years or just never looked into it, 3 oscillators, 3 filters. Don't let anyone tell you it's 2. There's 3 filters in here. 4 envelope generators. Don't let anyone tell you there's 3. There's 4. You got built-in effects, which I'm not usually an effects guy, but I have used effects in this. What do you got? 4 LFOs. The LFOs, they go way into the audio range. You could always apply key tracking to the rate. You got frequency modulation on the oscillators. This is kind of weird. There's built-in routing. It's like 1 to 2, 1 to 3, or 3 to 1. It's one of my only problems with this synth is the oscillators aren't in the mod matrix as sources, as modulation sources. I don't know why that is. I guess maybe because your LFOs go way into audio range, so you could always use that. The 3 main envelope generators are all like loopable, and you can change the angles and whatnot. You also have more stages than just the 4. There's like a hold stage and a delay before it starts stage. So everything on here is pretty much everything you could want and more. Here, I'll pull up a init patch here. All right, basic patch, very boring. This is just 1 oscillator. I think it sounds good down here. I don't like how this sounds on the high end. I don't like how the poly brute sounds on the high end. Basically, no new analog poly synths sound good across the board. Whereas like the Polymoog, turn the thing on, play it across the whole key bed. It all sounds very even and nice. This is my one big problem with modern analog is I haven't played any that are like that. I end up putting a lot of reverse like key modulation on like every patch. So it's like on the volume on the amp, so like it's quieter as you get higher. Usually stuff with the filter. I have a Prophet 10 back here. Sounds gorgeous, and that is a newer one. That's not like, an original. So I don't know if that's because it was based on old tech and specs or something, but I don't know. It's the same part, so I would think it would sound as harsh as all these other new analog polys I have, but that I avoided getting the Poly 10 for a long time because I was like, I have that covered, but that thing sounds gorgeous the second you turn it on. But anyways, yeah, the higher you get, I don't like how that sounds. But anyways, real nice sounding oscillators down here. And the key thing on these oscillators, I guess I'll just focus kind of on oscillators on this video. There's no way I'm going to fit everything in one video. If you know me, I just kind of turn the camera on and go. If this is the first time seeing a video, you're like, this guy is rambling and all over the place. That's what I do. I woke up at 7 in the morning today. I did a whole bunch of dishes. I cleaned a turtle aquarium, and I was like, all right, I got a few hours before I go to my day job and pick up 50-pound bins for 8 hours. So let's make a Moog One video. So yeah. Let's focus on the oscillators for today. They're really cool. They're cooler than, I think, any other analog poly I've seen or played. You not only have your regular waveforms, but what's going on with these oscillators is at the same time, you have a square and a triangle going at the same time with a mix knob. So cool, you can mix that, but you also have your width for the square, which you can factor in, but also for the triangle side, you can also set it as a triangle if you want. And when you do that, you can change it from triangle to sawtooth to reverse sawtooth. And again, that's blended with the square and the width. So you just, of course, everything can be modulated, and it's so simple. But yeah, just with the shaping of the oscillator alone, it's just crazy how many different sounds you can get. There's no filter on that or anything. See what I mean, though? To me, already just halfway up here, this is so much louder than the lowest octave. So let's just mess with that right now. So easy to set up mods. I just go into mod matrix, pick a slot. You got your source. I'm going to go all the way over here to key pitch. I'm going to go here to the VCA level. I'm going to put that real negative. Much better. I'm at like negative 228% key tracking on the amp. Much better. So that's just one oscillator, nothing else going on at all other than reverse key tracking on the VCA to bring down those damn high notes. I don't know if it's my ears. I always have to do that. For the second and third oscillators, you got hard sync option. And the way the synth is set up, everything about this is so clever and done the easiest way possible. Whoever designed this thing, thank you. There are flaws. I'm not going to get into those yet. But yeah, so everything, every module, like the filter module, the oscillators, there's a button in the top corner that gives you even more options. Also shows you everything that's going on. So right, oscillator 2 and 3 has sync, and on here, so yeah, oscillator 2 can be hard synced to either oscillator 3 or oscillator 1. There's an option here for note on reset, so that will start the waveform each time you hit it, so you don't get, that's especially good for like playing bass sounds, so it's not different each time you hit it as the oscillator cycles. Being able to turn that on is nice. Yeah, pitch tracking, you can set it to anything, so get really weird scaling going on, or have even just make the whole key bed just play one note on a certain oscillator, which comes in handy for like FM or like weird ring mod stuff. And there's also like bend up and bend down offsets. So lots of cool options in these oscillators, and I think they're very beefy. Let's bring in another one. So that's 3 oscillators. I got 3 synced to 2. 2 and 3 I just have as sawtooths right now. This is just the ring mod. Ring mod options are 1 into 2 or 2 into 3. Let's put an envelope on that synced oscillator. So yeah, you just hit mod again, source. Let's just use, so yeah, there's 3 main envelope generators, but there's also a simple envelope generator over here in the noise section that can be routed anywhere. It doesn't have to be for the noise. Let's see. Yeah, you get to cool places really quick. I'm going to end this video. These are going to get way too long. So that's just a quick look at the oscillators. But before I go, all right, I'm back to an init patch. You can also not only save your patches, but you can build these huge modulation matrices, and then save all of that as a separate thing. So you can just drop in different collections of modulations that you've made. So this is based on the Tim Shoebridge video. It's just to give the pitch that little bit of drift. I wasn't even trying to make something cool there. Just did random settings on the filters. So yeah, anyway. So open the filters back up. Also, you get a bit more drive if you're going through both filters. Each oscillator can go through either filter or both. The filters can either be parallel or series, one into the other. So yeah, if you have them both, if you have the oscillators going through both filters, it tends to add a little bit more drive. It doesn't have as much drive as I would like. Like, you know, I think the Matriarch's got more beef to it as far as like drive goes. But again, it's because it's a full polyphonic thing, and I think they're just trying to keep you from getting too crazy, but I want to go too crazy. I want to push it into total nonsense territory, but that's me. That's not most people. See, that's in series now, so you get more. And I guess I'll play some more sounds to give you a reason why you came here. You could fit so much sounds in this thing. That's another thing. You can arrange them any way you want. I just put all my sounds as VP, whatever. I think this is a real ugly one. Kind of like the sound I did with my Ion in a different video, where it kind of sounds like a dying child or cat or something. I can just listen to this thing for hours. Obviously, a lot of effects on that one. This one's probably going to be a mess because it's named FM, so that usually means I went a little nutty. So lots of effects on that one. Apparently, there's some aftertouch affecting the rate of something, an LFO maybe. You could do absolutely anything you could want as far as analog synthesis goes with this, in my opinion. Other than a couple things, like oscillators not being in the as sources and the modulation matrix. The effect parameters are not destinations in the modulation matrix, which they claim they're going to add, and it's been several years and they never did. And the only other problem I'll mention is with mine. I don't know. This is the all of them, but like I can't do simple like key tracking the filter. I don't know. It's doing a little bit better than it usually does, but like some days I turn this thing on and like the filters really aren't all the same. Maybe I just don't let it warm up long enough because I let this thing warm up for a good 40 minutes for the first time ever today, and it does seem a little bit more normal. So never mind. Maybe it works fine. And I'm just impatient, which I am.